Precomps are a great way to streamline a very complicated shot. For example, as you see here, I have some effects on this rain text. I have bubbles and I have rain all in this same piece of footage. Now, I have the freedom at any time to simply go to what's called a precomp to change one element and then overlap it in the main comp. Now, if you look down here in my timeline, I have my main comp, a rain precomp which has a solid in it with rain applied to it, and I have another comp that has a bubble effect. Now, what a precomp will allow you to do is to work without worrying about having to find out which layer has what on it. So I don't have to twirl open these guys to find out which one's rain or which one's the bubbles, because they all live in their own comps. And I simply take each of those comps and I stack them on top of the other ones in the timeline. Now this is really great when you're doing things like explosions, lightning, shattering glass, or anything where you want to have precise control and you want to be able to tweak things very easily and then have your tweaks applied instantly to the main comp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the rain precomp comp and I'm going to twirl it open and show you that we have these effects here. And this is rain. And if I go to the rain, I can reset it. And when I go back to my main comp, you'll notice that we have less rain. Likewise, I can go back to this rain precomp and I can go to the layer with the rain on it and I can modify that rain if I want to. I can even add another layer on this rain. For example, I'm going to add a solid, and this solid is going to have a bright color. So I'm going to actually cover this rain up with a really bright green, and I'll say OK. Alright, so don't forget, this is the rain precomp tab. That means it's its own comp inside the main comp. I'll go back to my main comp and check it out. Any changes I make on any of these other comps are updated right away. So let me show you how to quickly create a precomp. Now, all I have to do is I can go to my layer menu, choose new, solid for example, and I can call it, let's just say, let's give it another thing, let's call it snow. And one of the things I like to do is put the word pre in a precomp so I know that it is indeed a precomp. I'll go ahead and change the color to something like a dark blue. I'll say OK. And with this layer selected, I go back to the layer menu and I choose Precompose. And as you see, it says new composition name, Snow Pre Comp 1. I'll go ahead and get rid of the 1 there. I say OK. And if I double click on the Snow Precomp, it now has its own tab. So I can make changes to it. I'll go ahead and add a new solid to the Snow Precomp. I'll go to my effect menu and I'll go to the simulation tab and choose snow. And then I'll go back to my main comp. And there we have our snow. And I can right click on this comp and change the blend mode. Let's say I'll give it multiply. And I'll go ahead and scrub and we'll see that we have 3 comps here. Let me go back here and change the blend mode to something like a screen so I can see behind it now. And now I can see that green. I can see the text that's on this layer, and I can see the bubbles. So when I want to modify the snow, and I really want to twirl things open, I can simply go to its tab and make my changes. So I can make more snow, go back to the main comp, and now I have more snow. So it's a really great way to work. I'll go ahead and turn that particular turquoise layer off, and go back to my main comp, and now you see it's gone. And that is the magic of precomps. I highly suggest you use them in your workflow.